Matt, why don't you give us your next sonnet?
All right. This year, and you guys have witnessed this through my various big deal trades in a couple different leagues, I have just fallen head over heels for AJ Brown. So here it goes. My dearest Arthur Juan, over you I fawn. Once the Titans turned to Tannehill, you gave the football world such a thrill. Averaging more than 20 yards a catch, you weren't merely playing fetch. You put up numbers that outpaced Randy, Julio, and other greats. For the final 6 games, you went on a tear, to which only AB and Jones in 2015 compared. On the field, you're just a tank. For fantasy, you're near the top of my ranks. Some will doubt you, but I love your upside. So I'll pop the question. Will you be my fantasy bride?
Oh, he did
Nice.
it. Oh,
it's happening.
she said yes. She said yes.
So I referenced a list in that that since Randy Moss's rookie season, so that was 1998. This is an article from Ian Hartitz on Roto World, but there's a list of only 10 guys who have averaged double-digit yards per target. So 168 rookie wide receivers have had more than 50 targets since Randy Moss in his rookie season. Only 10 of them have averaged double-digit yards per target, and Brown tops that list at 12.5.
Wow.
Number 2 on that list is Juju in his rookie year with 11.5. So by a full yard, he's number 1. Other guys on this list who had various levels of fantasy relevance. Hakeem Nicks is on that list. Randy Moss, of course. Mike Wallace, Julio Jones, Odell Beckham, all in that list of 10 guys. That's pretty lofty territory.
Yeah.
I think. Just to accentuate that, of course, we know how monstrous Brown was over the last 6 weeks. He was the wide receiver 1 in fantasy over the last 6 weeks of last year, averaging 19.2 points per game. So I know it's only 6 games, and you could take any 6-game sample size and extrapolate it however you want. 19.2 points per game. No one has averaged that over the course of the season since 2015. And Antonio Brown and Julio Jones both did it. That's 307 fantasy points in half PPR over the course of the season. So it's not like it's never been done before. It has been done before, but by guys who are Antonio Brown and Julio Jones in their prime. So that's the ceiling for this guy, but peel it back a little bit even from there. You want a more reasonable sample size. So Tannehill started 10 games last year, and A.J. Brown got off to a pretty slow start for those first 4 games. But if you incorporate those 4 down games with the 6 big games and do a 10-game sample size, he still averages 14.5 points per game, which would still finish him at 232 points over the course of the year. And that has been enough to finish as a top 10 wide receiver for the past 6 years. So I don't know. Floor to me is still wide receiver 12, and ceiling is the unquestioned wide receiver 1. I'm all in on AJ Brown, you guys. It's my little Arthur Juan.
First of all, I appreciate you letting us know that his name is Arthur Juan, which I had no idea, and now I do like him a little bit more now. That's fun. I will say this: if you think his floor is 12 and his ceiling is 1, that I'm not sure I'm willing to go there yet. Don't get me wrong. Could it happen? Could he be the 1 this year? Like, yes, I do think it's possible. I do have a hard time if he's the undisputed number 1 target in a Tannehill-led offense. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm willing to give the sample size we received last year and just absolutely just buy that as a for sure thing. But you're right. Right where he's going at right now, he's going about 29th overall. His ADP right now, about the 12th wide receiver off the board, and he's going the same level at guys like Cooper Kupp, Adam Thielen, Odell Beckham Jr., DJ Moore. DJ Moore is actually quite a bit further down. Cooper Kupp's right after him. But they're at a level where you're going to have to take some risk with these guys as your number 1 wide receiver. And I'm with you. If you have to bet on one of these guys, you got to feel pretty good about what you're going to get out of him. I don't know that his floor is number 12 this year. I think it probably is lower than that. But I really like AJ Brown this year if you can get him and if you're willing to take the risk.
I do too, and I don't think it's hard to get on that train. I mean, like you said, 6 games it's hard to trust. You can't just extrapolate 6 games over a season and say he's going to be amazing. But he played like a star, and he was a security blanket like a star. He was consistent like a star. He looks like a star. He runs like a star. He's got it in him to be among the names you were naming off, Matt. Like, I think I'm with you. He looked special. We all wanted him to be special. And let's not forget, he did it as a rookie. And we don't often see wide receivers do that, even near the end of their rookie year.